Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Appalachian Eclectic. I'm Aaron, and today we're going to be doing a project. As the name says, you never know what kind of stuff I'll be getting into. But this armoire here is for a customer of mine. It's sentimental. Brain fart, couldn't find the word. And she has some stuff she wants done to it. She kind of gave me open rein, and yesterday I kind of tinkered and came up with a design that I liked. And what we're going to be doing is using some poplar bark, some birch sticks, and some preserved moss. Now I put a video out a while back on how to preserve that moss. It's done a great job. It's been, I guess, a couple months now, and it's still nice and soft, got good color, it's not brittle, so works pretty well. All right, well, the first thing that I'm going to have to do is get on the table saw, and we are going to cut a couple pieces of this to get started and show you what we are going to be doing. All right, so you can see on the table saw some of the bark on a piece of this birch came loose here, and I was expecting that to kind of happen. I'm going to plug in the hot glue gun, and we're going to hot glue this back down so that we don't have to worry about it. So we're going to plug this up, and while the hot glue gun is heating up, I am going to go get some denatured alcohol and some couple rags, and we're going to wipe this thing down, get all the dust and dirt so everything will lay nice and flat. Alright, so you saw on the table saw, I split these in half and then I trimmed just a little bit off the edge there. And that is so I can get a nice tight fit right here without having to worry about anything else, without having to worry about any big gaps or anything. So still waiting on hot glue gun to dry. And while we do that, we're going to go ahead and cut our 45s on our last piece or two here and get ready to go. right, so this is the concept for the birch. And the way I'm gonna be doing it, there's a little gap here, a little stick off there, but it's gonna be fine. And now I've got to rinse, wash, repeat, get a whole lot more of these cut down to size, and get the birch around all the cutouts on the doors and on the side here. Well, better get to work. Okay, so I've got my pieces cut, at least for the front doors here, and now we're going to start joining them up and gluing and getting all the birch in place so we can start on the next step. Okay, so that looks decent. It doesn't really match, but I have a plan. The way you can see the different pieces, because with the sticks, it's going to be nearly impossible to get it to line up perfectly. So I have this little piece of birch here that I saved, and there's plenty of other of the birch bark around. So my plan is, with the birch, we're just going to go here and find where some of the birch is, and we're going to add some hot glue here. And once all of it's on there, I think that since the birch peels a little bit anyway, I think it's going to be kind of hard to notice. So we're going to finish up covering up all of our little seams and whatnot. See if it's going to look all right. So we've got all of our birch, I guess you could say, trim pieces on here on the front. Looks a little rough right now, but you'll see I've got more stuff to do to kind of disguise besides just what this is, the little pieces I put in here, which turned out okay. I mean, it really, unless you're right up on it, you can't really tell. And like I said, I still got a few more projects to do on it. So the next thing we're going to add is going to be our poplar bark. And this poplar bark is already trimmed up, so it's going to save a little bit of time. I'm just going to go through and clean up the edges a little bit, and we're going to start putting it up. So we'll be right back. All right, so we're getting closer here. Now it's time for the final edition. And yeah, I'm going to be, just thought, like, I know there's going to be people saying something about it. I'll be going back and brad nailing everything with the air gun. Didn't have the right size brads and wanted to make sure everything looked good and get it all in place first, just with the hot glue. So even though the hot glue is very hard to take off, it can be taken off without destroying anything. So let's grab some moss and figure out how we're going to do this. All right, so the process of what I'm doing for the next part of this is really easy. I've got my moss here, and I got some already cut in strips, but I'm simply going to hot glue the moss in the spaces there so it looks like it's growing between some wood, and we'll go from there. Well, we got most of it done, but pretty much out of hot glue. You get the right size staples and some stuff. So we'll go and clean up over here, and then we're going to take a look at it and see what we think. All right, so I wasn't really sure when she told me what she first wanted. I was like, okay, that'll work. Didn't know how much I'd like it, but now that I see it, actually I think it looks pretty good. You can see like a lot of the, where some stuff didn't meet up, I was able to use just a little, you know, put a little bit of the moss covering it up. Go and trim up a little bit of this here in a minute. But yeah, definitely made it a completely different piece of furniture. As soon as I get a couple, go resource some more birch, we'll get this side done. And yeah, I think that is pretty nice. Definitely different and rustic and perfect for a cabin. All right, guys. Well, I think that's probably about all I've got for today. And I will show you guys the last little bit of it once I get totally finished. And get the sides finished and work on a couple other, some hinge stuff and things. So, but yeah, I think that's what needed to happen.